Welcome back everyone. Today we're diving into the world of Football Manager and taking on one of the biggest challenges in Scottish football, rebuilding Rangers. Right now they're sitting a whopping 16 points behind Celtic with 6 losses already piling up in the league. It's a tough spot, but that's exactly why I'm here. But this isn't just about catching up to Celtic. No, we're going for domination across all Scottish competitions and we're going to bring it all back to Rangers. On top of that, I'm not just interested in making a run in the Europa League, we've got our eyes set on something bigger. It's time to claim the Champions League trophy. No season limits, pure passion, time to put Rangers back at the top. Let's do it. So then, this is going to be Rangers Inside of the Game. Now, I have already done one season to get a bit of an understanding of sort of how this team is, what team or players in the team can stay, what need to go, because we've got one big project on our hands here, and that, of course, is to try and win the Champions League and dominate Scottish football. Now, as a club, they're massive, okay? 5-star youth recruitment is the big thing I'm focused on today. We've got 3.5-star youth facilities, 4-star training, 3.5-star reputation. The owners love the club and they're rich. It's the perfect combo. Now, in terms of what we have won, now we have played a season, so there might be some other little goodies in here that we have won this year, but they have won a variety of Scottish trophies. Unfortunately, apart from this one here, they have not won an official Europa League or Champions League, so we are going to try and change that, but I'm not really interested in the Europa League, I'll be honest. So we have gone and played one season, as you are aware, and as you can see right now, this is the team we're using. We are using the Rangers to UCL tactic. Now, I will go over and say, we've got some talent, okay? We've got some talent in this team. There's no hiding it. It's pure facts. Now, one player that I really like is going to be Cerny. Now, I will say, he is a player that not many people may have heard of, okay? He is coming in from Wolfsburg, and not a lot of people would turn to him necessarily, but he is so good in the Scottish League. Whether he can win me a Champions League is up for debate, but I tell you what, for a 26-year-old to return 21 and 19 in his first season is amazing. And I tell you what, £7.2 million, if I got the money, I'm having him permanently because he's a great player, at least in this game. Now, of course, you also got the likes of Tavernier, a fantastic right back who I've got a lot of respect for. 11 and 19 from him. We've got Yilmaz at left back, 0 and 0, bit of a quiet one. We've also got, I'm not being funny, through the middle, 25 and 14. And again, a player in Nadim who is absolutely sublime. The 25-year-old Banian might not look outstanding in terms of attributes, but trust me, in the Scottish League at least, he can get the job done alongside, of Danilo. Danilo. Now, this man here, again, doesn't look electric, right? Let's just be realistic, but we can go over and see 24 and 4 assists. It's remarkable. It's simply lovely. And I tell you what, a player like that, we're going to try and keep him because even if he doesn't win me a Champions League, he's definitely going to be dominant in the Scottish competitions. We've also got the likes of Cortez, a player, again, who I will happily try and bring in because he's about £4 million. He is, again, not exactly the most standout player, but what I'm trying to do is, first of all, 16 and 18, remarkable. What I'm trying to do is just build a foundation of a squad that can dominate Scotland over and over and over. So we'll show you the results from this season. So obviously, you've got the Viaplay Cup, the Scottish Cup. For starters, runners-up in the Viaplay Cup, so we're not a clear dominant Scottish sweep at the moment. Celtic edge us in that one. The Scottish Cup, we do beat Celtic 3-2, so that is something. A very good start in the Champions League. A semi-final appearance, which we only just about lose to Arsenal. That is a remarkable game, by the way, against Madrid and Bayern. But in terms of like the actual league or the Champions path, I'm not sure actually where we sort of got to, but let's see what we've done in the quarters. So we beat the team like Newcastle, we're beating teams like Barcelona, so we've already got a very insane tactic and team. The Premiership, I will say, we were 1 point off Celtic, so we've closed the gap compared to real life, but it is going to be the likes of Cerny and Cortez who are really telling me to go and sign them. Jack Butland, honourable mention. He's 31, but very good for this league as well. We've got a budget of around about 19 to 23 million pounds. And to be honest, the only player we've got coming in is a pre-agreed one that I didn't do in Lyle Cameron, who I don't really know if he's going to play or not, so looks pretty scary actually. But we are going to go over and of course try and sign Cerny, try and sign Cortez, and sort of go from there. and hopefully we can go into the next season and go in with some real firepower. Again, at any part of this video, if you do want the tactic or the rebuild file and all of these wonderful perks, you know where to go. It is going to be over on the Patreon. There is still a 20% off just, and we have just announced an £800 giveaway split between 8 winners, so loads of people get a bit of prize money. So if you are interested, you can find it in the description, and also you get tons of perks, so make sure you head on over. But let's go into season 2 transfers with I'll say a reasonable budget for this league. We'll see what we can do. Right then, so signing one is going to be a man that we've not talked about, but he is Scottish, so I thought, you know what, we'll follow along with it, and it is going to be Calvin Ramsey. Now, he's on loan from Liverpool because he is a pricey boy, but on the season on loan to Real help us out, just to cover when Tavernier is injured, he actually played 15 games because Tavernier was fairly injured. Now, I will say, it's a decent return for season 1. I don't think it is going to be necessarily a permanent move. We spent 1.4 million to actually have him on loan, but do you know what, Calvin? Thanks for your service, because he has done a good job. To actually land Oscar Quartez, a player who I knew we could because we paid, what, 3.4 million? And as you can see right now, it is a bit of a drop-off in performance, so I'm a little bit annoyed with that, to be honest with you, but it is sometimes what happens. Sometimes you give them that contract, you give them the security, and they don't deliver the same amount. I mean, he only played 4 less games, and he's delivered nowhere near the same amount. Not great. Cerny's different because we paid about £10 million for him, which is a fair bit of money, 8.7 million. It's okay. It's not as good, but I mean, it's a decent return. It's acceptable. And do you know what? For £8 million, the value's gone up by like 11 million. I will take that. I will happily accept that. We've also got some players that are going to be leaving on the free, as you can see, or more on the loan, sorry. Why did I say free? Because I was looking right here on the free. All going out on loan because I want these players to actually go and either, one, develop and come back and we can use them, or develop, come back and they can get sold. Better than them rotting on the bench. So go into a mixture of different teams, but hopefully with the addition of Calvin Ramsey, Cameron, who I don't even think probably played, no, didn't play at all, to be honest, so not him, and Oscar Quartez, who had a pretty iffy season, and Cerny, I'm hoping just the security, hopefully, we've got a squad, and I'm hoping after another year of being together, we can go and win the title. Let's go and see. I've got to start off in that Scottish final, and I tell you what, it's a bit of a blessing because we are playing against St Mirren, and no disrespect to any fans of St Mirren, but despite them going 1-0 up inside of 7 minutes, I knew what this Rangers team has, and I know how good my set pieces are, so we're going to get back into the game literally 7 minutes after, and from this point on, I will say, St Mirren fans, you might want to watch with your eyes closed, because unfortunately, we are going to see the boy who I did believe in Cerny come big, and he is going to make it 2-1 inside of 26 minutes. 5 minutes after that, good play from Cerny again, down the right, in the middle, Danilo is going to make it 3-1, and this is where the St Mirren heads really drop. Tavernier down the right-hand side, plenty of space, he's going to drive it into the box. This is incredible, incredible, and that is why I did believe and stick with him alongside a Ramsey, because he can do it. He is getting older, but he has still got it in the locker. We've now got Sutar in the box. Great, that is incredible. A 5-1 win. Also going to lift the Viaplay Cup 3-0 over Celtic, so we're looking good so far. And the Cinch Premiership, we have come out and won by 10 points over Celtic, so we've not only won, we've dominated. We lose 3 games, one of them is going to be against Celtic, so did we draw against them? That's fine. We beat them, we lost, we've won the league, we've won all the Scottish trophies, so we're on track for that part of the video, but obviously the big part of the video is probably somewhere over there that I can't see, because it's a very tough challenge. Now, we have got key figures that are performing. James Tavernier, we've got Cerny, Tavernier, Rabbi, we've got Danilo, we've got Nedim, we've got serious players that are performing. Jack Butland, back-to-back most clean sheets. He is doing a great job. Again, whether he's a Champions League winning goalkeeper, maybe not, but we will decide that later down the line. But in terms of what we have done in Season 2, we gelled the team in the first season, made minuscule changes going in, and we have now won a Scottish treble. Unfortunately, the Champions League, we are going to fall back a little bit, but I'm not even going to worry. It's a bit of a thumping. It's 6-1, but we are not ready for the Champions League yet in terms of squad, so hopefully the money's there. It's okay, about 40 million. 39 million is completely fine. Remember, we've got no debt practically, so we can go and spend this money, but in terms of actual sheer and utter performance, we are going to see Danilo be incredibly consistent. We're going to see the likes of Quarted, 7 and 8. We've got Nadim, 31 and 9, 14 and 19 for Cerny, Raskin, 2 and 12, Sterling, 7 and 7. The wing-backs, I do want to see a little bit more out of them in terms of output, but for now it's okay. Tavernier, actually, why is he not in the team? Because 16 and 15, a man with output, a man who's remarkable. Let's just look at him. I mean, this guy, 33, and doing that, it's absolutely incredible. It really, really is. Let's also not forget to mention this guy, because I tell you what, he is a serious player. It's going to be Hagi. Now, I tell you what, he comes in, and it's not the most remarkable return in overall stats in the league, but you put him across all competitions, he's chipping in 25 goal contributions. Same with Matondo, 29 goal contributions across all. I mean, it's amazing. It might not be done in the league. A bit of it's done in the league, but you've got to remember, we are playing in several competitions, so wherever they do it, it helps me out. So if they can't do it in the league, yes, it's a degree of an issue. But if we've got a player that can perform in the cups, they've still got a place in the team. They're still an important player. Simple as that. Now, this team, now we've won the Scottish treble, we can now start to think, okay, what do we need to start to do to turn this into a Champions League winning team? And there's a lot you'd probably change back at home, and you're not wrong. So the likes of Cortez, I love the guy to bits, but I think he could be a league player, a cup player, but not a UCL player, in terms of winning me one. So that is a player that I might look to bring in, another winger. We've got to look at Butland, despite being incredibly strong in the league. Can he defend against Vinicius and Mbappe? Salah? That's going to be the debate we're going to have, and I think we almost need one more full season to really analyse it. Go out, make some signings. We've got 40 million, so we'll look to just improve the overall squad, make those signings, and come back and sort of just regroup and I really have a core look at this batch of players, because they clearly can do it in Scotland, but doing it in Scotland is a big difference to doing it in the final of the Champions League against Madrid, Bayern, PSG, Liverpool, City. It's a big step up, and it's down to me to make it happen. So for £8 million, we are going to welcome in Datro Fofana, an incredible winger who I do think has also developed very well in this save. Now, he comes in, as I said, for what, 8 million? He contributes 5 and 13 in the league, so he's done more outside of the league as well. It's a very good first sort of appearance in the league, dropping nearly a 7.5 rating. He is quick, good dribbling, great finishing, good composure, good amount of flair on him. The guy's a machine, and he's only 23 years of age. That has been brought in mainly for experience and versatility, and he's also cost me literally nothing, Kyle Walker-Peters. Now, he plays a ton of games, drops a very good average rating, 6 assists, 1 goal, so I imagine he probably has been playing left back. And I will say, he wasn't brought in necessarily to get right into the team, but for a 29-year-old, he's still got some pace, he's got the stamina, the work rate, the tackling, the dribbling, the crossing. He's a very good, very just versatile wing-back who's only on 50k a week. It's a no-brainer. Also going to go out and sign Piniev, coming in for a total of 10 million, an immaculate man, 14 and 17. That is remarkable return. 7.5 on the average rating. He comes in, like I said, he don't struggle. The guy doesn't struggle at all. It's absolutely incredible from him. A very strong season, coming in from Madrid, and you know what? This is now his home. Now, a little interesting fact, because our friend Hagi actually decided to leave on the free. He didn't want a new contract, but then he wanted us to sign him back on the free when we went in for him. So it was a sign and more, because it was just like, we can't have Hagi leave the club. He's like one of the first players you think of when you think of Rangers. So we got him back. He doesn't play too much. His decision to not accept a contract, try and leave on the free, and is he asking to leave again? For more playing time? You left the club on the free, mate. You're not going to come back and walk into all golden leaves everywhere. You tried to snake us, and I'll give you a chance. Be grateful. Who doesn't have to be too grateful is Jonathan David, because this guy comes in, and how much do you think I spent on him? I spent nothing, and he has scored 24 goals in the league, 3 assists, a great average rating, and looking at this man, he can win me a Champions League one day. I'm pretty sure of it. I mean, he's quick, composure's there, finishing's there, the dribbling's decent, even the passing's not bad, good off the ball work, good stamina, good work rate. He can play a variety of roles. The guy's a dream, and even more of a dream when I didn't spend a single penny. And to finish off the window, we are going to pick up Leon. He comes in from Basel as a very, very strong midfield player for a total of £10 million. Very, very good return. 7.6 practically in the average return, in the average rating. 10 assists, 7 goals from midfield. The guy's incredibly well-rounded, 22 years of age, wanted to join as well, only on 33 grand a week. Do I need to carry on? This window is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Great winger, great wing back, left, right back, incredible winger again. Not too much to say. Great striker, great midfielder. That is serious, serious upgrades. Can it push us in the competition that we want? Time's going to tell. To start with, we are going to fall in the Scottish Cup against Celtic, so the Scottish treble, it's already dead. We are going to bounce back though and go back-to-back with league titles now, and again, nearly that 10-point advantage. And I will go over and say right now, the losses, did we lose to Celtic? We don't. Do we draw? 2 draws, so a very tied-up season head-to-head, but we won the league. Simple as that. 4 players of ours in the average rating. Jack Butland, is that Robert Sanchez for Celtic? Fair play. Jack Butland now in second place for the clean sheets. Our 2 new wingers, the top assisters. I mean, come on. Come on. It's worked out, hasn't it? It's absolutely incredible. A big push back in terms of performance in the Champions League, as we are now going to go right back to being semi-finalists, and we only lost by 1 goal against PSG. So, do you know what? That's good to see. The Viaplay Cup final, this time against a team which, I'll be honest, I don't want to disrespect, so we're not going to talk about it. It's just a team which I feel that is a free win, to be honest. With the players we've got, with the team we've got, the tactics we've got, the set pieces, the everything. We've got the complete package, and we were dominating the goal. The game was done from minute 1, to be honest. The way we were playing, just how easy it was to go through. 2-0 in 54 minutes, and I tell you what, we don't stop. There's going to be time for one last goal in the 82nd minute, and we are going to be Viaplay Cup winners. It was quite obvious. Unless we play against like a Celtic or someone, I think these are pretty much bagged. So it is going to be a Viaplay Cup, as you can see here, against Queen's Park, in a 3-0 win, and also cinch Premiership winners. Great in the Champions League, annoyingly close in the Scottish Cup, and money-wise, we have got 22 million basically. The debts and loans is literally nothing. So one day I want to see a bigger budget, Rangers owners. Give me some more money. But I will say, the players we have done, I am excited because we can see here in a block 20 and 19, 30 and 11, 20 and 21, 35 and 7. This front 4 are deadly. They are deadly. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these stats are fabricated because they are playing against very smaller teams in the Scottish Cups, so they can stat pad a little bit, but you can only play in the league that you're in and the cups that you're in. So what you get is what you see. Now, 3 and 7 from Walker Peters, 4 and 10 from Raskin, very good as well. 20 and 14 for Tavernier. We've also got the likes of Diamande in midfield, 3 and 10. Good return. Even the bench are chipping in. Cerny, 7 and 7, a man who is, not really going to be able to compete too much with Fofana, and also the likes of Danilo is now playing second fiddle really to Jonathan David, and Danilo was part of my big plan, but when you've got someone like Jonathan David coming on the free, you can't say you can't play, mate, because he scored 35 goals. It is absolutely incredible. Now, again, we'll filter by the best 11. I'm pretty sure it probably will be this team. It is. We now go to see where we need to improve, and if you want my honesty, goalkeeper and centre-backs. I don't think they're going to win me a Champions League. Don't think it's harsh. I think it's a fair statement. They're not going to win me a Champions League. The midfield, maybe not Raskin. I think this lad, potentially could, because he's very, very well-rounded. But Raskin, very, very good player, and I know he's played, quite a few seasons at Rangers, so no disrespect, Rangers fans. I completely understand where you're coming from, but I'm not sure if he can win me. He can be part of the squad, because he can play the Scottish games, but I do feel that there is still improvement to be made in the DM area. Potentially, you could say the entire back line, although right back, between Walker Peters and Tavernier, they're doing a great job. And when you've got a right back with 34 goal contributions, I do sometimes feel that he might win me a Champions League one day. But the downside is, what is he? He's 34. It's sad, man. He's 34. He's been at Rangers for such a long time. Of course, a lot of years at Newcastle as well. I think his time might be up shortly, and it kills me to say it. It absolutely breaks my heart. But let's go over to the next window, see what we can do with a limited budget, maybe more free agents, probably what's going to happen. The players whose time is going to be up is going to be Jack Butland. Now, he was on the transfer list. He goes to West Ham, so he's still got a very, very good club to play for. He goes for £7 million, so it's a pure bit of profit from us, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, he didn't have a great time at West Ham. I don't know where West Ham actually finished. They finished 11th in the league, so it's not actually horrific for them, but he didn't have a great season. I feel quite bad for him, but it was his time to go. Signing number 1 is going to be his replacement. It is going to be Samuel Brolin, coming in from Kalmar. 26 years of age. He is going to be a good Cinch Premiership player. And I'll be honest, there was no goalkeeper that was very easy to get. So he might not be the only keeper you see come into the team. But for this season, he come in, and I tell you what, 16 clean sheets in 34 games is not too bad. So he stepped up to the mark, but I will say he might not be the permanent solution. I'll be honest. But for 1 million, not milestones, for 1 million... I'll accept it. And let's now go over to the big signing. So we had a limited budget, but we needed a bit of a beast at centre-back, and we are going to turn and take a bit of a gamble because I've never signed him, but we are going to pick up Nelson Abbey. He comes in for 26 million. He plays a lot of the games. He does score 5 goals, drop a very good average rating as well. He looks very good. The tackling's there, the leadership's there, which is good for the future because we might need a captain one day, a new one. Good acceleration, good pace, good stamina, good strength. He looks like the real deal, but I've never signed him, and a bit of me's nervous where he's sort of going to go. He can improve, but have I overspent? Because him and the goalkeeper, they're the only signings for this year. How's that affected me? Because now I look at that, I'm getting nervous. This time we're going to be runners-up in the Viaplay Cup, so vice versa, not the Scottish Cup, Viaplay Cup this time. We are going to lose against Celtic 1-0. Despite a loss, if you are enjoying, please do leave a like and subscribe, because we are killing it at the moment, and thank you so much for 3k subs. You are absolute legends. But let's ignore the negatives, focus on the positives. So a big positive is going to be a 120th minute winner against Celtic in the Scottish Cup, and it is going to be none other than Rabbi Matondo going through and just about edging it past Sanchez. We'll take it. Sadly, it's going to be Arsenal again that knock us out in the Champions League. That's happened a couple of years now, and this time we're going to fall back to the quarterfinals. Again, very, very close. Like, we are beating also some pretty... I mean, we're beating City, not pretty decent. We're beating incredible teams, so it's very annoying. We are still sort of in this area, the blue area. No one wants to be here. We're not really reaching the green too often, but we're not doing awful, but we're just still very far off where we need to be, and I mean very far off. Now, in terms of the league, we are going to go and see a treble in back-to-back past winners. There you go right there. So, and this one, we need to go invincible. The one loss is going to unfortunately be against Celtic, so they do prevent the invincible season, but we do beat them as well. So again, a 1-for-1 season. But in terms of Scottish trophies, although we've only ever done really one treble, we're winning 2 out of 3 pretty much every year now. And the big one, the league, we are now officially, I want to say, dominating, because 3 times back-to-back, no one's really responding. They're not that close in responding. They're 13 points behind coming and actually giving me some competition. Now, in terms of the players as well, it's so dominant. We've got Nadim and we've got David top of the goal scoring charts, and it's not even close. We've then got 4 players of ours in the average rating. Our new goalkeeper, second most clean sheets. 4 of our players in the most assists. I mean, when you look at it like that, and this Celtic team, guys, it's not a walkover. They've got Brendan Rodgers. Let's look at the players. Pedro, Thomas Lemar, Simmons, Correa. I mean, it's a very good team on paper for this league, but they just can't deal. They can't deal with us. They really can't. Now, in terms of the team, again, we are going to have to be fair. We're going to have to be realistic, because some of these players, I was looking at the Wonder Kids. Okay, I was looking at the youth players. I was like, what is going on there? Right. So the first team, I'm looking at it again. I don't think Brolin's going to win me a Champions League. Harsh reality. Again, I'm not sure if Sotar will. 6 goals, though. Not bad. Walker-Peters, 5 and 17. Yilmaz has been good performance-wise. Doesn't always offer a lot in terms of the assists. And I tell you what, he's got very good attributes, so we're going to stick with him for a bit, I think, unless there's like a really good left-back available. The midfield, again, doing quite well. The front line, 57 goals from David. The left wing coming in with 14 and 36. The right wing 31 and 14. Fofana 23 and 21. The bench players also offering very minimum, because I imagine they can't get in the team because of how good our first 11 is. But We're good in the Scottish League, but the Champions League, I want to start to make some progress now. Next year will be Season 5, so I do want to make some big progress. Whether that be getting to a final and losing, I would still somewhat accept. I'll be honest with you, I just want to get to a final. Now, the front four excite me. I think we potentially, I might be delusional, but I think they can get the job done. The midfield, I think, needs another man. The back line definitely needs a couple of people. And the goalkeeper might need to have, you know, maybe Broden on the bench and a better keeper come in. Now, in terms of money, we have got money. We've got 36 million. The debts and loans is practically zero, so we can go and spend again. And let's not forget, we are doing a good job here. The reputation's on the up. We've added more trophies into the cabinet as well. We are doing a great job, but it's just about now trying to push on to that very tough challenge of winning the Champions League. The past winners: Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, Madrid. Never an easy game in the Champions League next season. So then signing one is going to be a freebie, and glad that he is a freebie because we needed a few centre-backs and we couldn't probably afford to actually spend that much on them. So he comes in on the free, a great return, no goals, but he's a centre-back. We've got other players that can score goals. The average rating is what excites me. It's his first time actually in Scotland as a player. Yes, he's 28, but he's on a very low wage and he's also a leading Premier League player. So very good to see the aggressions there. He's got decent pace, good strength, good work rate, very good tackling, and he slots into the team without a doubt. I'm going to pick up a left back because that left back that I said, that star left back that would be on the market, was on the market, and it is going to be Guindo. Now, the guy's incredible. He can play centre-back as well, but he is left-back for us. The tackling's there, the acceleration, the pace, the stamina. He is a very, very good attacking wing-back, and he comes in with 7 assists, 5 goals, nearly a 7.5 rating, and even if he doesn't guarantee over Yilmaz at left-back, they can compete for that position, and we've now got two very good wing-backs, just on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we've also got that, so wing-back-wise, we're golden. Lastly, to really strengthen that midfield in the bigger games, we are going to pick up a very seasoned Italian man. It's going to be Edoardo Bove. He comes in for 22 million. He only plays 13 games, which does surprise me because he was our real big man in the window, so a little bit gutted in that, and he's on a big decline. But I will say there was a pretty sure of quite a significant injury sort of halfway through the season, so that's just sheer pot luck. It happens to people, you can't do too much about it. It's a shame because I know there's a player in there, but I'm just hoping next season, if we have to play it, he can redeem himself. Well, not redeem, he's been injured, that's harsh. He can come back and bounce back because he is a very good player. Now, we have got players also going out. The likes of Danilo is going to go to Santos. He is going to go for a total of £6 million. He enjoys a pretty quiet season. Hefte, he's also going to go. And a few players also are going to go out on loan, as you can see. But other than Danilo and this lad here, the rest aren't really too game-changing. So let's get into Season 5. Minimum expectation is probably now going to be realistically the Scottish treble. We should have that unlocked by now, so let's go and have a little look. Well, we're off to a good start, aren't we? Because we are going to win another league title, meaning it is actually going to be 4, I believe, back-to-back with 1 loss. Did we beat Celtic twice? We beat Celtic twice. We are literally running away with this competition. Jonathan David, Nadim, top goal scorers again. Brolin, most clean sheets. Fofana, most player of the matches. Not 1, not 2, not 3. 4 players in the assists. 4 players in the average rating. We have built a team that just almost laughs at this competition. Without Celtic, we've got over a 40-point advantage. I mean, what's going on? It's mental. Champions League, I'm actually going to cry because we done one of the best comebacks you'll see in a game. We beat Man City 5-1 away from home to make it 5-5, and we lose on penalties. Now, I will say, to get there, obviously, round of 16, we actually played Celtic and beat them 5-1, so that's quite funny. The league phase, we're still not in the green. We're still not in the green, so we can't get it done, and I'm not going to waste time. I don't want to talk about it. Look what's happened. We've only won 1 trophy this year, which is not good enough for this club anymore. The Scottish Cup, the 5th round by Celtic. Now, the stage of the Cup is annoying, but it is the best team you could have played. But still, it's so embarrassing to go out in the 5th round. The Viaplay Cup, we're going to lose 1-0 to Celtic. So, we edged them in the league and the Champions League, but we didn't win the Champions League. It means nothing. They probably went on to win the Scottish Cup, I imagine. They won the Viaplay Cup. They've out-trophied us in this season, which is very, very annoying, but I guess we keep the league title, but it's just a little bit frustrating. Now, in terms of money, we have got a budget of 23 million. The debts and loans non-existent, so I might even use a couple of installments now to really get this rebuild proper fire. And now, in terms of players, we are going to go and see, again, the front four. They're not the issue, are they? I mean, 16 and 21, 26 and 12, 20 and 31, 42 and 3. It's remarkable. It really is. Walker Peters still doing a great job with 2 and 11. Guindo 7 and 10. I think what's happening now is I might need to actually sort of switch on a little bit and understand the likes of Hagi, who's in the team, as not just a backup. He is getting chances. He was getting chances. He's not going to do anything for me now, is he? Cerny, his time's up realistically. I sometimes hold on to players that I shouldn't do. Bove, obviously that was unfortunate for him. Can't really blame him. Smith had a decent season, 7-5. I think we need to just improve the overall squad now. Whether it's first team or whether it's bench, we need players in because we are clearly now struggling to deal with 4 competitions, which is acceptable. That sentence is fine. But we need to really start making progression because we have spent money. If we go back to the transfer history, we go back to the start, we spent 9 million, we spent 2 million, we spent 26 million, 26 million, 33 million. Probably, what, 100, getting on for 100 million if you add it all up. So, yes, we've won multiple trophies in return, but we need to start making progression. And I'll be honest, I'm not 100% happy with this season. I'm really not. We have got 3 free agents to come up very shortly, but this is going to be one of the 2 paid signings. It's going to be Thomas Estevez, coming in from Bologna. Again, a very, very good right back, a competitive right back to challenge your first team football. He's quick, great agility, decent dribbling, okay tackling. Again, he's on the older side, but it's quite hard to attract players into the Scottish League, I will be honest. He comes in for 9 million. He does okay. He's not going to play every game. He helps out here and there with some goals, with some assists, and do you know what? It's just another face into the squad. We're also going to loan in a player in Aaron Alsamino. I believe how you say that. He comes in from Chelsea. He comes in, as you can see, on the loan. 34 games, 5 goals, 3 assists, a very good player. I think he's already made a decision to go back to Chelsea, so he probably won't stay with us, but for this season, it's another centre-back option. On the free, we are going to pick up Verbruggen. Now, I will say, not developed to the best you've ever seen him on Football Manager, and he was fuming at Brighton. So we got him on the free, 57 grand a week, and I imagine instantly becomes first team. 21 clean sheets in 33 games is a remarkable return, a great average rating, and it's Verbruggen. The guy's a monster. We know how good he is in the game. This guy I've won Champions Leagues with. I've done it multiple times. Come on, Verbruggen. Look at me. Look at me. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Mason Money Mount. A man with so much disrespect in the real world. I'm giving him one last chance of redemption. He's done the Champions League before. I'm bringing in Champions League players. Now, I like Mason Mount, okay? I don't know why. I can't explain it. I like him. I like him, and I think if this happens, it's going to be one of those famous manager-player love stories. I really think it is. And do you know what? He comes in, he works hard. 9 goals, 14 assists, 7.45 average rating. He's going to be the player. You know when you play, Sunday League football, and if there's a parent that owns a team, they've got a kid that plays every single game, that's going to be the relationship. He will be in the most important games because there's something about him. There's something in there. Welcome in, Mason. Lastly, to add a little bit of liveliness on the wings, we are going to have Justin Kluivert. 30 years of age, so again, an older player, but a man with experience. 17 exhilaration, great agility, great pace, great everything. Aggression, dribbling, first touch, technique, flair. The guy's an absolute monster. He comes in, obviously on the free, contributes heavily in the league alone. Again, he is an older player, I appreciate that, but we are bringing in players that are ready to take on the ultimate competition, and I'm confident. In Season 6, we are going to start off with the Scottish Cup final against Hearts. Again, a great given. What a turn from Diamande to make it 1-0 in the 90th minute, by the way, in extra time. Mount is going to find Diamande, a lovely driven, what a Mount assist, Diamande goal, beautiful. All of the goals we scored now are in extra time, by the way. The actual 90-minute game was one of the most boring things a man or woman could watch, and I tell you what, we are now finding ourselves scoring 3 goals goals in the first half of extra time. And the last goal, the 4-0 decider. What a turn from Datro to win this 4-0. Datro ball in, Raskin, beautiful. What a final. Also going to be your Premier League winners again, or Premiership should I say. And as you can see, the past winners, it's all Rangers, baby. It is now all Rangers, and I tell you what, 3 losses. 1 is going to be against Celtic, but once again, apart from the goal scorer, although I would actually rather have 3 of our players compared to Top and the chance of having 1, we are going to have Jonathan David, Sergi and Nadim, 4 players in the average rating, Verbruggen, the most clean sheets, Mason Mount, the most assists, Cliver in there as well. This is beautiful to see. So far, so good. Play Cup final got off to an absolute diabolical start with Rowe playing a great ball in, right to Ansu Fati. Celtic are cooking. That is an incredible start for them. 1-0 up inside of 2 minutes, so a very, very strong start. But I tell you what, we are going to bounce back. We are going to have Guindo down the left-hand side, going alone into Mount, inside, and that is a very, very scrappy goal. We're going to tie things up inside of 23 minutes, and now the second half is going to get going. Jonathan David, a great penalty inside of 53 minutes to take the advantage, and we go again. Cliver, the 30-year-old winger with tons of experience, into Mount, into Nadim, great give and go, into Cliver, and I tell you what, that's why experience pays. I tell you what, that is absolutely incredible. A 3-1 lead, and Mason Mount, a great ball into the box, and he is going to get the assist, and it's going to be a 4-1 Viaplay win. Now it's time for the Champions League, and for the first season, we are going to be in the green. We are beating teams like Galatasaray, Dynamo, Liverpool, Napoli. We're drawing against Ajax and Salzburg, and only lose against PSG by 1 goal. So we are going to get not even past this, we get easily past this. The round of 16, we are going to face against Bayern and knock them out by a goal. That's 1 big boy down. We are then going to face against Leipzig, a smaller team in the Champions League, and just about edge them, so a very, very close game there. We then play City and, to be honest, comfortably get past them, and we face up against probably one of the toughest teams in the game in Real Madrid. That is going to be a very, very tough final. But do you know what? Even if we lose, I'm happy with this season, and we will simply go again. But I tell you what, if you've got to play a Champions League final, you don't start it like this, people. This is not the way to start it. Rodrigo, a very, very good player, inside into Endrick, is going to make it 1-0 inside of 4 minutes. I mean, it's not a vibe, is it? But we are going to get back into the game. 60th minute, Nadim is going to find Piniev. Plenty of time on the ball. Back into Nadim. Inside. Great play. Thomas Estevez, the new right back. And that is a great finish. I tell you what, though. Oh, Lunin maybe could have saved that. But I'm not going to take any credit away from the team, because it's a great way to get back into the game. Fofana into Nadim. Plenty of space to go through in the 82nd minute and win the Champions League final. Right, my people. We have won the quadruple. We've won the Premiership. We've won the Champions League, the Scottish Cup and the Viaplay Cup with this insane team. And it goes to prove sometimes that it's not always about signing the top wonder kids. It's about signing players that have done it before. Mason Mount has done it before. He knows what he's doing, and I am so proud of what I have done with this rebuild, because we've got such a nice mixture. We've got younger players, we've got middle-aged players, we've got older players. But do you know what we've got? Do you know what word I'd use? We've got a team. We've got a squad. And that's what you need in football. Yes, we've had a lot of people leave, I will say, because they're not simply good enough. But we have also got a budget of 23 million. So depending on what I've done in the past, I mean, if you look at the players that have gone also out on loan, we're going to get those back. The players that have actually brought me success have all been free agents, really. Not all of them, but a lot of them have been free agents. And I think this is a lesson for me and for everyone, that sometimes free agents are all that you need. Now, if we go and look, are there any good ones now? Because there very well might be. I mean, look at these. Kesse, Abdi. There's some serious free agents. So do you know what? I'm going to set John Stones as well. Marco, Moiskeen, Decore, Timber, Verman. I'm going to tell this right now, okay? This is going to be your challenge. If you are interested in getting the tactic and also the rebuild file, your challenge is to win another quadruple with only signing free transfer players. You've seen the players that are there. They're world class. Hopefully you have enjoyed this Rangers rebuild. And Rangers fans, and non-Rangers fans, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Again, if you want to see me play this game live and do rebuilds live, Josh Daly, main channel, I live stream almost every weekday, occasional weekend as well. And again, that Patreon, seriously, tons of content. I mean it, loads of stuff going on, big discount, big giveaways, tons of files if you are interested in the old description. But thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one, because it is going to be with one of my favourite teams.